let me formally, a lot of people have welcomed you. As your governor, let me formally welcome you to Lagos. Let me welcome you to the center of excellence. Let me welcome you to the state of aquatic splendor. Let me welcome you, sir, to the heartbeat of our nation. As you can see, the Sultan himself is a citizen of Lagos. So God has been to this great city. Let's welcome you to the commercial and economic nerve center of our country. But more importantly is really to say why we're here. We're here and I'm opportune that in the last 1 week, I've had a privilege to travel with Mr. President to United Nations General Assembly, which happens to be the biggest world body where peace, unity at the assembly is the cornerstone, is the bedrock of that union, is the bedrock of that General Assembly. And I want to inform you that your president, our president, Muhammadu Buhari, was indeed grateful to God because he was attending his last General Assembly meeting as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I was opportune to be with him. And he did say and reiterate that for him, the peace and unity of this country is his paramount responsibility to ensure that justice, equity, fairness is second to none. And he gave reasons, because he said the first time he came to the General Assembly as a military head of state over 40 years ago, he couldn't put it all together then. But coming back and being the last time for him as an elected president that is committed to ensuring that the peace and tranquility and justice and fairness of his country continue to remain his cardinal principle, and he will do everything until when he leaves office in May next year. And I think Mr. President deserves a round of applause. Because indeed, what we're doing here was what he took to the General Assembly to talk about. And he indeed promised that he will ensure that come next year, it will be a season of free, fair, credible election, where by the grace of God, government will also be handed over to a new government coming on after his tenure. And so I feel highly privileged and honored that my first assignment coming back after that trip is to come and meet all of you, my traditional rulers, my religious leaders, my spiritual leaders, to also preach the same thing again, that this country is not only important to all of us in this room, but it's important to the general citizens. And you, that God has given the opportunity at this point in time to be at the hands of affair in our various religious bodies, to be at the hands of affair in our various traditional bodies, that is a clarion call to ensure that nothing goes wrong, to truncate or to put to jeopardy the peace and the tranquility of this nation. And for me, listening and watching for the last 2 hours, you can see and give credit to the people that set up Nirec. The video has shown to us that indeed it wasn't a government's own push agenda. It was an agenda pushed by all of you here, our religious leaders. It was an agenda that we believe at that time that this time has come. And you can see that for the last 20 years, you have indeed continued to live with the objective of ensuring that that agenda that brought you together indeed is alive, is real, and you are keeping faith with it. I must, having been to break protocol and acknowledge one of my fathers, the Sheikh Abu himself. I did not see him again, because for you to be 100 years old, Papa deserves every day we acknowledge him. You know, every day we see him, and strength. God continue to give him the ability and 100 to be able to come forward. God knows what will happen to some of us when we're 8 because of this pressure we have put onto ourselves. But I want to thank you, sir, for being part, of this great event today. And it's because of the commitment, the leadership commitment, that that you continue to preach, you continue to put forward, during your time, that Lagos, Nigeria, will know peace, will know tranquility, will know progress. Thank you very much, sir. And so we can see that the objective that set up Nirec is still alive, is still at play. And that's why we're happy that Lagos State is hosting the third in series for the year 2022. We consider ourselves very privileged, having known that the second one was also hosted in the southwestern region. But you've given us that opportunity to host the third one at the City of Excellence in your great city of Lagos. But so for us, is to talk about the heroes that have held on to the peace and tranquility of this nation. Is to talk about the leaders that have held on to the peace and tranquility of this nation. And I think both the Sultan himself has said it here today, and as co-chairman, His Eminence Archbishop Oko has often mentioned it in some sort in their various speeches, that for as long as they will remain as co-chair in the leadership of Nirec, that they will do everything within their power to ensure that justice, peace, tranquility continue to coexist in our country. And there's no better way where we can look at it other than to look at the coat of arms that brought this country together in 1960. And it is unity and faith, peace and progress. And so if we reflect back, if we understand what that means, then we know that as a nation, we've all been joined together. Though tongue and tribe may differ, in brotherhood we hold ourselves. Tongue and tribe will differ in our faith, in our ethnicity, but in brotherhood, we hold ourselves together. We have been joined together, and we have the responsibility today, tomorrow, and in years to come to ensure that this big nation, this great nation, does not fall in our own hands. And I believe with the leadership of Nirec that we have today, that we have seen consistently, this country will not be put to shame. I'm hoping that the conversation, the decision, the discussions that will happen here today and tomorrow will further strengthen that I believe, will further strengthen that code of honor, will further strengthen that thing that we all sworn to ensure that justice, peace, equity in this country is second to none. But as a political leader, how well can we hold ourselves accountable? How well can we hold ourselves and ensure that even in the political leadership, we do not fail our people? It's only by ensuring that we give good governance, we'll ensure that the greatest good is always for the greatest number. In respect of where you come from, in respect of your status, in respect of your background, in respect of who you are, we must, as political leaders, be able to give fairness to all. We must be able to give justice to all. We must ensure that the diversity that we have in this country do not put us apart. It is one of the strongest things that should hold us as a nation. And I stand here humbly as your 15th governor of Lagos State. A lot of people have commended our modest efforts. And I want to repeat that these are just modest efforts as you see it. The greater agenda of Lagos is on course. It's something that we're committed to. It's something that we have signed on to. Some of my cabinet members are here, and they know that every day we dream and we see it, that the greater Lagos is on course and is achievable. And so for us, we believe that once good governance is at play, once transparent governance is at play, once an accountable governance is at play, issues around conflicts, issues around things that will break the peace that we enjoy in this country will be resolved. Yes, there will be issues that will come once in a while, ASU strike, like the Sultan have said. But we're happy that even during this ASU strike, none of the three institutions that we have in Lagos have had one day of no work. We're happy that our own universities in Lagos have not done one day strike. But it bleeds our hearts that some of our other children in other universities are at home and they are not in school. And so for us as leaders, it's really to bury whatever differences might have come. And I think it's all time I've said it also happening. It's another clear call, right? That two wrongs will make a right. But at the federal level and at the ASU level, nothing is too big for us to compromise the future of our children, for us to compromise the future of the great leaders that we see. And so we want to call again that there is nothing that cannot be resolved. We believe that it's time for ASU to call off the strike and get these children back at work, so that indeed we can put our country, we can put these children in the path of progress, peace, and justice. As a roundup, for me, it's not about great speeches, it's not about long speeches, but it's about ensuring that all of you that have taken time to come to this council meeting in Lagos, I believe that the outcomes of it will further strengthen your resolve, will further deepen your individual and collective responsibility, that thing that holds Nirec together in the last 20 years, to ensure that you can continue to speak to us in leadership. You can continue to ensure that everybody is on authority, are accountable, and there are people that can be held on, right, to all of the promises that they've given their citizens. Because I believe that not only in the act of discussion here to be relevant, but you have all that it takes. With the caliber of Nigerians here today, with the caliber of people in this room, you have all it takes to speak to people in authority, to challenge us, to encourage us, to admonish us, to ensure that we are continue to do the right thing, not only the first time, but at all times. And I believe God will give you the power, will give you the strength, will give you the fortitude to do that. We are in a time in which the country needs all of us, now more than ever before. And so we cannot afford hate speeches. We cannot afford ethnic bigotry. We cannot afford to be divided. Yes, we're going to election, and let's guard our tongues. Let's be committed. Let's see the nationality in all of us. Let's see that when you go out there to buy a bread, you have not asked, is it a Christian or a Muslim bread? You have not asked, is it an Igbo man or a Yoruba man bread? You've bought in the bread, believing that the person that has prepared the bread is for your eating. That is the spirit that which we must take back home. That is the spirit that brings about the Nigeria in all of us. And that is the spirit that I see the Nirec has built in the last 20 years. And so for me, it is a great honor that you have come to Lagos again. Please enjoy the hospitality of Lagos. Take away some of our small traffic challenges that we have. It is not a big issue for us at all. It's not that I've said that they are seeing a new Victoria Island. There's still a lot. You will see a new Alimosho, you will see a new Ikurudu, you will see a new Repe, you will see a new Ojo, because in all nooks and crannies of Lagos State, we must be able to see the real dividends of democracy. I wish you all the very best in the discussion of Nirec today and tomorrow. Once again, I formally declare open the third session of the year 2022 Nirec meeting to the glory of God and to the benefit of mankind. Thank you very much and welcome to Lagos.